Hi guys. This isn't a normal video podcast. This is a Keep Myself Alive podcast. Hi, I'm Cassie from CassieMakesArt. Thank you for being here. I have something to talk about today that I'm really nervous to talk about, but I need to do it for my own sanity. I have been sitting here for days now, thinking and processing. And I feel gross not saying anything. Because my reason for not saying anything would be because I don't want to upset anybody. And I don't want to look like a bad fan. And I don't want people to think that I'm not a huge MCR fan. I think at this point you guys know, and I don't need to prove it to anybody, by the way. This band is incredibly special to me. They will be my favorite band until the end of time. They have saved my life. They have given me purpose. I have a very deeply personal connection with MCR and with their music. And it is because of that that I need to say something about this Ticketmaster fiasco. Now, I want to preface this by saying, I am not putting blame on any one party. I am not putting all the blame on the band. I am not putting all the blame on the label. I am not putting all the blame on Ticketmaster. It is a situation that is multifaceted. And the reason that I feel the need to speak up is because I am seeing fans of this band. Not myself, because I'm not doing it. But I am seeing fans of this band who are so desperate to see this band for what they always believe might be the last time. Because any time could be the last time, right? They are so desperate to see them that they are spending thousands of dollars on official platinum seats or verified resale tickets. And even with my small platform, I need to at least say, I need to communicate with you guys, fellow fans. Please, for the love of God, do not spend thousands of dollars on shitty tickets from some verified resale account on Ticketmaster. I've been saying in my Instagram stories, and I want to make this very clear again, and just cement this. I have been saying that the way that I have gotten tickets in the past is to wait until the shows are close. I'm talking within a week of the show. Now, I know that doesn't bring a lot of comfort to a lot of you, and I am aware that when you have to coordinate your travel, especially plane tickets and hotel and all this stuff, I am aware that you want to know officially that you're going, and you don't want to sit around and wait. But I'm telling you, I've been doing this for years. When a show is sold out, you have to wait until it's closer. And people, not just scammers and, scalpers, actual people who can no longer go to the show will then put their tickets onto Ticketmaster for resale or onto SeatGeek, Vivid Seats, etc. Personally, I've had the best luck with SeatGeek and Ticketmaster resale, but only when the show is close. There is no reason that you need to spend $2,000 on a ticket to see MCR in November of 2024 when it is months and months out. You don't need to do that. This is coming from a almost 20-year veteran MCR member, okay? Please don't do that. And I have personal experience from the Swarm Tour. I got on Ticketmaster when those tickets went on sale originally, back in 2019. And the only thing that I was able to secure was nosebleed tickets at face value, nosebleed tickets for Jersey Night 1. But I wanted to go to Philly, and I wanted to go to both nights in Jersey, which there was only one night announced originally, but then there was a second one added. And I wanted to go to Firefly. So Firefly, obviously a lot easier to get tickets for a festival, right? I just bought them. No big deal, right? For Philly and for both nights in Jersey, I waited until, for Philly, it was like a week out. I got some tickets at a very reasonable price on SeatGeek. For Jersey Night 1, it was less than 24 hours until the show. Ticketmaster resale. I got general admission pit tickets for $199 each. Now, I know everybody's budget is different and everybody's idea of what is a fair price is different. And that's a whole different conversation that I'm not going to get into because really it's kind of pointless. You know, there are going to be some people who say, well, I paid $35 in 2008 to see Mike Kemp. So did I. I've got the ticket in the frame over there. It's not 2008 anymore. Things are way more expensive. It is not just the band that needs to get paid. It is the entire crew. There is a lot of expense that goes into these tours, and I'm well aware of it. And whatever they're charging, face value, I have to just believe is a fair price. And I do. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these platinum seats, which is a complete scam through Ticketmaster, and all of the bots that snatched up the tickets the second they were put on sale and immediately turned around and resold them and marked them up. That should be illegal. That should be illegal. Point blank, period. Okay? And I want to read you something, and I'm going to put this up on the screen if you are watching this. If you're just listening, that's okay. But I want to read you a caption from a post from an account on Instagram called Endless Night MCR. And I thought that this was very informative and really kind of sums up how I feel on this reseller situation. Okay? So Endless Night MCR writes, so it looks like Ticketmaster are making major issues for this tour. Looking at available tickets, there are whole sections of resale tickets available at crazy prices. There are original tickets left, but these are all platinum tickets. Now, platinum is just Ticketmaster's fancy way of saying market price or dynamic pricing. So these shows are not selling out because Ticketmaster has increased the price to the point that it is outpricing the fans. So many fans want tickets still, yet are unable to afford them. Ticketmaster benefit from this increased pricing as they take a cut of ticket prices. The higher the price, the more profit. Something needs to be done about this because this is a tour that would easily sell out if it wasn't for these prices. None of these prices are what the band or promoters have set. However, artists can opt out of dynamic pricing to stop this happening, as Coldplay recently did. This resale situation is mainly a US-based issue due to lack of regulation over Ticketmaster. For example, in the UK, dynamic pricing will still happen, but resale can only happen at face value that the ticket was purchased for. So ticket prices will increase if dynamic or platinum, but resale via Ticketmaster will never be above what the platinum price was. So wait it out. Do not buy the resellers' tickets. Eventually they will have to reduce their pricing to get their money back. I know FOMO, fear of missing out, can lead to us spending more than we wanted to on our faves, but these resellers will reduce prices. And as a plea to the band, please consider turning off dynamic pricing if any further dates are lined up. I couldn't agree more with that statement. Now I want to read another caption. There is a reel posted by Name 3 Songs, Lisa, on Instagram, a good friend. And I want to read her caption. The Ticketmaster battle for MCR tickets was no joke. Even making this reel, I got anxiety flashbacks from the sheer panic, shaking hands, heart palpitations, etc. It was less the queue and more the issue of the fucking website not working. Tickets disappearing right as you clicked on them. That's what happened to me. The inability to select areas or even adjust ticket quantity. I got in line 30 minutes before it opened. Same. There was 5,736 people in front of me. For me, there was 29,000. And I checked out around 10:26 a.m. or so 26 minutes after they went on sale. Even then, so many areas were already sold out at that point and being resold for higher. There was a 6-ticket maximum rule per checkout, so how is that even able to happen? On top of that, my bank denied my purchase as fraudulent activity, but at least I was able to check out with the PayPal option. I did not plan on spending this much on tickets, but the prices went up right when I was checking out. I also could never click on any nosebleed tickets because the web page kept crashing. I also paid approximately $400 in fees plus ticket insurance. I got me some kids, and this is a family event to all go to together. Disney will have to wait another 10 years. I really wanted pit tickets, but I don't feel like donating a kidney for them, and trying to put them in my cart never worked anyway. If you're going to the Seattle show, maybe I'll see you around. If you didn't get tickets now, don't worry. People will sell their tickets and prices will come down closer to the event. Don't forget to watch the video where the reselling rule and the event organizer's minimum price to sell a ticket is explained. So Ticketmaster is getting hella fees when the ticket first sells. It charges the seller hella fees, and then the new buyer pays hella fees, which means Ticketmaster makes 3 times the fees on just one ticket. No wonder they encourage scalpers and unethical reselling. I love MCR, but this really disappointed me. Okay? Here's another caption from Scraped Up Knees on Instagram. And the photos, again, I will put here on the screen. The photos are screenshots. And it shows them scrolling through to show all of the official platinum seats. And then it shows from Ticketmaster's website. Because people are asking, what the hell is a platinum ticket anyway? Ticketmaster says, Ticketmaster Platinum tickets are tickets to in-demand events that are sold at market-driven prices. They are available for purchase on Ticketmaster and are authentic, original tickets. Here are some things to know about Ticketmaster Platinum tickets. How they are priced. The price of Platinum tickets is based on supply and demand, similar to how hotel and airfare prices are determined. Who sets the prices? The artist or promoter sets the price of the tickets. What are they for? The purpose of Platinum tickets is to give the most dedicated fans access to the event. Now I'm going to stop right there. The purpose is to give the most dedicated fans access to the event. Right. So by charging prices that no one can afford or they have to go into debt to afford, you are allowing your most dedicated fans to access the event? No, you're not. That's a scam. Ticketmaster sucks. We have known this. I think it should be illegal. I think there should be regulations. And I agree that there should be regulations like there are in the UK where, yeah, sure, you can resell if you... Now, my opinion, you should not be able to resell until the show is like, let's say, a month out. You should not be able to immediately, when tickets go on sale, purchase them and then immediately turn around and resell them. That, point blank period, that should not be allowed. But if it is allowed, okay? If reselling is allowed, it should be like it is in the UK because actual regulations were put in place that you can only make back what you spent. And that's what I did. When I originally got those nosebleed tickets for Jersey Night 1, and I eventually was able to upgrade less than 24 hours before the show, I listed on Ticketmaster for the same price that I paid. I did not want to price gouge. I did not want to rip somebody off and try to make a profit. I just wanted to get back the money that I spent. And that should be how it is. There's nothing wrong with reselling a ticket if you can't go anymore, or something comes up, or you're like me and you upgrade your ticket, you just want to give these to somebody else. Not give, but sell these at face value to somebody else. That should be, I don't see an issue with that at all. And I've been able to go to events because of resellers. Now again, you have to wait until it's close. Because if you support these resellers now, you're just enabling them to continue this cycle. If you are so desperate to get a ticket now, in November, that you spend way too much money on a reseller, you are just enabling them. They're just going to keep doing this forever. Now, I think Ticketmaster themselves this needs to be regulated. Because you're not going to stop scammers. You're not going to stop scalpers. You can't stop people from trying to make money, right? From trying to take tickets from, people who actually want to attend the show and turn around and resell them to make a profit. You can't stop that unless you are the company selling the tickets. You can stop that. Okay? Now, here's how I feel about, because I've seen there's a lot of discourse going around, okay? There's a lot of discourse in the fandom. And the question is, could MCR have done something? Could Gerard, Mikey, Frank, and Ray, the actual band, and Jared, could they have actually done something to prevent this? Now, the answer to that is, I don't know. I don't know if they could have done something. I don't think that they are involved in this. They're a huge band. They're under a huge major label. They have managers. I don't think that they're sitting here, dictating what the prices are going to be and all that. They have managers to handle that stuff for them. And I'm well aware of that, okay? My issue is how the communication has happened, or the lack thereof, after all of this. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the My Chemical Romance Reddit. Now, I don't spend a lot of time on Reddit, but sometimes it's a good place to go to see what people are talking about. Okay? I want to read you this post, and I'll put it up on the screen too, but I want to read you this post from Reddit. This is from a user called Creeping Death 67. For those who will not read this entire thing and still get mad at me, I would like to preface this by saying I'm a lifelong diehard fan of the band. Everything I'm about to say comes from a place of love and not intended to defame my heroes. These words may be my own, but after talking with some of you over the past couple days, I know I speak for many of us when I say that MyChem have genuinely let most of us down here. Their first mistake was, of course, only leaving 3 days for tickets to go on sale from their initial tour announcement. I realize lots of artists do that nowadays, but that does not make it okay. Leaving dynamic pricing enabled on a short-run tour that you didn't even offer a fan pre-sale on is absolutely batshit crazy to me. They're not idiots. They knew that scalpers and bots were going to get the majority of tickets before fans could, and yet here we are. Oasis, Pearl Jam, Iron Maiden, and The Cure are just a few examples of groups that have become heroes to their fans for how they have handled the modern concert industry. All of them have put their own protective measures in place to ensure that their fans are the only ones that get their tickets in hand. Not only were face value tickets already pretty pricey, but the resale is disgusting, and I'm naively hoping they will do something. If you are someone who is even passively bummed out by this, I encourage you to speak out as well. I realize that they are all people and they owe us nothing, but if they aren't going to tour for their fans, quite frankly, they shouldn't tour at all. This behavior and lack of attention to ensure that we are the ones at their live shows has left a very bitter taste in my mouth. It's a far cry from G's cute little blog posts or inviting fans to be in music videos. If you love this band as much as I do and feel as upset and confused, shout it from the fucking rooftops. Make a TikTok, a Reddit post, a podcast, a video. Hell, comment it on their Instagram while it's enabled if you feel so inclined. So many people have never been able to see the band live before and deserve a fair opportunity. MyChem deserves to play to a sold-out stadium full of fans, and fans deserve to not go into debt for the rest of the year just to see them. I'm going to read you a few comments here. The dynamic pricing was ridiculous. The tickets that were supposed to be in the 60s, meaning $60, and ended up being in the 90s due to dynamic pricing. So now you just have $500 dynamic pricing seats or scalper seats left. We paid like $400 for 3 nosebleeds thanks to the dynamic pricing. They weren't resale. This person says, I was like 2,400th in the queue. Dynamic pricing had tickets up to 500 minimum when I got through the line. Not even scalpers. Resale tickets were actually cheaper when I checked later on. It was out of my budget, but it's ridiculous. I was behind over 24,000 people in line. By the time I got in, the dynamic pricing took the $62 nosebleed seats to $300. This person says, agreed. While I understand that they don't owe us anything argument, this has taken it to an entirely different level. If the majority of your fans can't afford nosebleed seats, you should at least address the situation. I'm really surprised they haven't. To say nothing and act like this is normal is wild to me. They don't owe us new music or even a tour, but if they're going to ask for our support, they do owe us common decency. This person says, I agree, and we need to speak up. Ticketmaster relies on fans using Ticketmaster as a scapegoat. We don't want to hate on our faves, so we just go, oh, well, Ticketmaster sucks, but I can't miss this show, so I got to spend $500 on nosebleeds. The fact is that Ticketmaster is the villain, but if the bands do nothing to fight back, they are part of the problem. I'm sorry, I love MCR's music and the mythos they've created through their art, but this comeback has been super scummy. I refuse to believe that 4 men who have been in the industry for 20 years didn't see this coming. They don't care, and Frank's infamous Instagram response is proof of that. I disagree with that, because the person coming at Frank was really... The person coming at them was like rude from the jump. That was before the tickets even went on sale. I didn't think Frank's response was anything unwarranted because the person literally accused them of, being a cash grab and said, why aren't they coming out with new music? I'm sorry. I think Frank's response was perfectly fine. I don't have an issue with it. This person says, it's been my dream for more than 15 years to see them live. Thought this was going to be my chance, but it's too close to the holidays. I have kids to think about. I'm not spending $400 on a single ticket when that money could be used for Christmas or for basic necessities. I've come to the conclusion that concerts just aren't worth it anymore. There's no point in shelling out so much money for a seat a mile away from the stage. I'm just thankful I was able to attend many concerts as a teenager when tickets didn't cost an arm and a leg. I'm disappointed that my children may likely never get to experience one. This person says, agreed, and oh my god, the irony of the political messaging in the promotional materials. Their messaging is going to fall flat if their actions do not measure up. This person says, this is long, but only because this band means so much to me. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to agree with this post. I'm 32, and I've been a fan since middle school. Same here, but 31. I've seen My Chem many, many times throughout my life and throughout their career, from Warped Tour to the first Black Parade Tour and so on. They're my favorite band, hands down. This whole thing hits different, though. I think the thing that really made me frown was Frank's clapback to a fan on the Instagram post. It just felt so disconnected from the MCR I knew growing up. The commenter wasn't even really aggressive either. He was just stating his opinion. And I don't know. I understand Frank getting defensive. Now, should he have popped off on that person? Probably not. But I do understand Frank getting defensive when somebody is saying, that you guys need to put out new music and this feels like a cash grab and whatever. I'm sorry. Yeah, the person was kind of aggressive and rude. And, yeah, should Frank have just probably kept on scrolling? Yeah, but I don't blame him for... if somebody's accusing your band, who happens to also be your favorite band, of, doing a cash grab and saying that they need to just put out new music and stop creating lore for this album from 2006. I'm sorry. He's allowed to be defensive. Wrapping up. No, hold on. Please hold. I'm still going to the Tampa show, and I'm still excited and grateful that I have the opportunity. But it does make me sad that so many new fans and even older fans won't be able to attend this due to finances or Ticketmaster's garbage practices. One of my favorite parts of their reunion tour was talking to all of the young fans in line waiting to head in. Them asking questions about the old shows and what it was like. It felt so cool And I saw my 15-year-old self in all of them, and it was so heartwarming because I was there at one point. But now I fear if these stadium tours and small number of shows continue, we'll see this happen again and again. Wrapping up, I truly hope that everyone who wants to see this band live has had that opportunity. They meant so much to me and still do when I was a young teen, and they truly helped me through the hardest parts of my angsty youth. I know they still have that effect on many young people, and I love that. Trust me when I say, if I was rolling in cash like Scrooge McDuck, I would be buying tickets for everyone who didn't get the opportunity. You all deserve to see them. This person says, hopefully this doesn't get taken down like my post did, which almost said the exact same thing. But yes, I agree 1000%. My passion for the band is at an all-time low right now. It seems like we're not even fans to them anymore, but rather just a way for them to rake in money. Yikes. This person replied, I think it's important we as a community and fans can also criticize the band when it's called for, and then following a poor trend of overpricing concert to make more bank, it's not great. More bands need to stand for something, much like The Cure are doing. They're fighting against overpriced tickets for their fans. I've been a huge MCR fan for many years, but I also don't support these practices. This person says, you guys are so right. I'm sick of other fans calling out people criticizing the band. We love them more than anything, but that doesn't mean we can't criticize when they're part of something so shitty. It's the lack of shows in other parts of the world. It's the allowing for dynamic pricing. This really sucks. I think saying that there's not more shows in other parts of the world, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that this North American tour, like it literally says North American tour, like more is coming. It's kind of obvious. So I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say that. This person says, it's baffling to me how everyone seems to put all the blame on Ticketmaster and the scalpers when the band themselves could very much do something about it and chose not to. To be honest, at this point, the whole thing seems like a cash grab than anything else. This person says, I've lived the last 20 years defending and loving MCR, but I'm feeling the same way. It's bumming me out a bit. And this person replied, this is the OP. This is actually my second time posting this here since the first one got removed. I am naively hopeful that this post and many like it will blow up. Whether my chem choose to act or not will determine their legacy. Thank you for your support. You can think, I enjoy this band, while also thinking the fact they allowed this to happen on multiple fronts, no pre-sale, the pricing however they set it up, too few days in the concert for everyone to get a seat, is literally horrible. On the bright side, I can cope with going to When We Were Young and overspending now. This person provides a different opinion. Whether or not they choose to act will not impact their legacy. I hate to say this, but most of the fandom and the band will forget you exist 3 months from now. I'm sorry you couldn't get tickets. I'm sorry dynamic pricing was on. Is it shitty? Absolutely. Did I pay more than I should have? Absolutely. However, this is all industry standard. Yes, The Cure and Oasis have bucked that standard, but those are outliers. What you are asking for is for the band to forego a majority of their profit so you could afford to see them. That's not capitalism. That's not how this works, and you wouldn't do that in your career either. Maybe, just maybe, the band aren't the people we idolized and put on pedestals. Maybe, just maybe, they are humans who are subject to all the same failings as the rest of us. While I think it's unfortunate, they also shouldn't be demonized. This person, the OP, replied, I don't care if I'm forgotten, and I have a Chicago pit ticket, but thanks for the concern. I'm not asking them to forego anything. Once the ticket is sold, the band themselves only make that money once. Ticketmaster benefits from resale. Exactly. The band literally loses nothing from enforcing that tickets can't be sold for more than their already high face value. I agree. I'm not sitting here, Then somebody replied, the band gets offered a higher guarantee / payout for keeping resale on. A portion of the resale fee revenue is shared with them, in effect. They can request it be disabled in their contract, but then their pay goes down. OP says, wow, that actually makes this so much fucking worse. And a reply says, no, it doesn't. You can sneeze and find any musical performer that does the same. The problem is that you place the band above all other musicians and singers out there, and they aren't. They want to get paid. Someone replied, have you fallen for the lie that bands would go hungry if their tickets are less than $500? Because it's not true. The Cure weren't playing those shows for free or without making any money the way you've implied. Robert Smith himself has spoken about what an insanely high profit they made off of that tour. I don't expect anyone to do the $25 tickets the way they did, but it's factually incorrect to say that bands must charge insane prices to not go hungry. This is maximizing profits to the nth degree, purposefully choosing to allow dynamic pricing, purposely choosing not to cap resale prices, etc., are not required to make a profitable tour. This person replies, no. However, if most of us were in the same position as MCR and we could make $100 million or $300 million, we would take the $300 million. Stop demonizing your idols for being human. They always were. And this person replied, you got to stop accusing every person who finds this skeezy of being a delusional fangirl. I like MCR, but they're not even my favorite band. I would feel the same about any artist in this scene deliberately screwing over fans to maximize profits. Not everyone is a capitalist. So, like I said before, I am not putting the blame on the band. The band is managed by a giant record label. I think even if the band has a problem with this, I don't necessarily think that they would be able to change anything. Let's be honest. Ticketmaster is the main villain here. But I do think my main issue, and the thing that makes me feel really gross and really sad and disappointed, is that while all this discourse is happening on Reddit, in Instagram comments, in people's Instagram stories, people are DMing me, people that are afraid to actually publicly say something and saying, just so you know, I'm feeling really gross about this too. It's ignoring all of that and just posting a graphic that says that the tour's sold out. It's not a good look. It's really not. And I know, again, this isn't the band. Mikey Way's not sitting there managing the My Chemical Romance Instagram. Like, I'm well aware of this. But it definitely makes your fans feel like a number instead of like a human when you are just ignoring what everyone is saying and their valid criticisms. Now, I don't agree with, like, you know, the band's just greedy and they're just blah, blah, blah. I don't agree with that. And I think, you know, any band that's under a major label that has this giant production, I mean, yeah, whatever they charge for face value is what they charge. And I don't mind paying face value. The issue is this dynamic pricing, which drives up the prices. And it happens so quickly that fans don't even get a chance to get things at, you know, at face value. I think a fan presale could have mitigated a lot of this. I got tickets for Alkaline Trio on a fan presale. And it was so, like, there was no stress. It was like, okay, I know that I'm getting these before the general public. I can get in here, choose my tickets, check out, face value. Everything's good, right? But the main reason that I'm speaking up about this is to warn people and to tell you to not support resellers at this point in time and to not spend thousands of dollars on these tickets that are platinum, that have been adjusted by dynamic pricing. Does this feel gross? Yes. I'm very upset over this. I have supported this band and will continue to support this band for the rest of my life. I believe that they are good people. I do not believe that they're just greedy capitalists, okay? And is that a little parasocial? Sure. I don't really care. But I think that people need to be realistic and understand that they are operating not as Gerard Way, Mikey Way, Frank Iero, Ray Toro. They are operating as My Chemical Romance, which is an idea, which is an entity that is owned by Warner. So that's pretty much what I want to say. So what is my call to action here? My call to action is to not spend your money on platinum tickets or on verified resellers right now. Please don't do it. I know you guys don't believe me, but I promise you, when the shows are closer, those resellers will be forced to lower the ticket prices. And you will have legitimate fans who got them at face value, who are trying to resell and just get their money back because they can't go anymore. But you have to be patient. I know it sucks. This whole situation sucks. As someone who's been a fan for almost 20 years, I really would have appreciated, being able to just spend my money and get the tickets at face value and just move on with my life. But that was not the case. And I have a family, I've got a lot of expenses, and I cannot justify spending thousands of dollars on concert tickets. I can't do it because I know that I'm still going to be able to go to the concert if I just wait. I will repeat, I've got tickets for Jersey Night 1, pit tickets, for $199 each, less than 24 hours before the show. If I had waited even, if I had really cut it close, I could have got them even cheaper. Because people are just like, fuck, I just want to make some of my money back. I know that puts you in a situation that you don't like and you're uncomfortable because you just want to have those tickets and you just want to know for sure that you're going. And that is valid. And I'm sorry that this is the situation that we're in, but it is. And I do think in the future, something needs to be changed. Turning off dynamic pricing would be something that the label could do. I do think, though, one of the huge things that also needs to happen is that Ticketmaster needs to be held accountable, and regulations need to be put in place in the US, just like they are in the UK, so that people can't turn around and immediately resell their tickets and drive up those prices for no reason. Because what did Ticketmaster say? What was that quote? Oh, that it's for the most dedicated fans? To allow the most dedicated fans to go to the event? That's not what's happening. Now, here's something that Endless Night MCR shared in their stories. This appears to be from Reddit. This was a Reddit post that says, let me screenshot this so I can put it on the screen. If you are a manager for a band and do not want to use Ticketmaster, you have to go out of your way to find venues that aren't owned by Ticketmaster or a subsidiary and don't have an exclusivity contract with Ticketmaster. Then for each of these that you find, you need to spend time negotiating and signing contracts. These independent venues have their own quirks that result in challenges and frustrations in touring. Or you can sign a single contract that will allow you to tour at all of the best venues anywhere in the world. Not only is it easier to do, it gives you access to the best venues. The better the venue, the more tickets you can sell and at higher prices. So it comes down to this proposition for the band. Do you want to make a lot more money, play at all the best venues, and not deal with constant headaches? Or do you want to make a lot less money, play in dumpy third-tier venues, and deal with all kinds of frustrations and things not working right? The biggest acts don't even have that choice. They simply can't find venues that can support the number of fans that want to see them, which don't have exclusivity contracts or are not owned by Ticketmaster. I agree 100%. I'm aware of this. Endless Night MCR says, this is something to consider still, but hopefully messages will get through in one form or another. I'm hoping discussions are underway. 3,000 tickets are not accessible for a show that would have already sold out. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to, is that this would have actually sold out to fans immediately. And sure, would there still be people who are pissed, who are like, I got there the second it opened and I couldn't get a ticket, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was me in 2019. You know, the same thing happened. Okay, like even if dynamic pricing was off and even if resellers were banned, it would sell out super fast and people would be upset. You're not going to stop people being upset, okay? But again, you can get tickets as it gets closer. But at least those tickets that were sold for your sold out tour would actually be sold to fans. And it wouldn't be a bunch of bots buying them up to then resell the tickets. Or this platinum pricing bullshit, okay? Then Endless Night MCR shared their graphic the graphic that Scraped Up Knees shared, which is just a screenshot from Ticketmaster.com that says, you know, what platinum tickets are, what they are for. Again, I will repeat this. The purpose of platinum tickets is to give the most dedicated fans access to the event. Scraped Up Knees commented, these are not sold out to fans though. I'm traveling from the UK for this, but I'm so very sad to see all these tickets up at unrealistic prices for the fans. It's actually making me rethink, and that is really upsetting. Please, 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 My Chemical Romance, do something before your fans crumble away. This person comments, why are you letting Ticketmaster rip off the fans with $900 platinum tickets? Such a shame, do better. Yeah, sold out to the scalpers. Great job, guys. Gotta thank the scalpers. Your fans can't even afford the nosebleeds at this rate. Yeah, we have different definitions of sold out. I love you, but it's very possible half the stadium's going to be empty because bots and resellers bought the tickets. Tickets are definitely still available in Chicago if anyone is looking. Never use Ticketmaster again. Most venues are not completely sold out. There are still non-resale tickets available, but unfortunately the pricing is too high because Ticketmaster are classing every seat as platinum, aka dynamic pricing. This makes most floor seats unattainable for fans because of the high costs. The band has a lot less control than people are saying. I do find those prices unacceptable, and I also accept that if I want to see them, this is the cost for the experience. It sucks that resale tickets are already floating around, though. My buddy got in the queue at number 10,000 with 30,000 waiting behind him. The demand is certainly high, and the scalpers are well aware of that. The band is not responsible for the prices. They have an entire label and management team dealing with this stuff. Add in TM and LN, and you get exorbitant prices. Pearl Jam fought Ticketmaster forever and made very little headway. It's unfortunate that the band is taking the brunt of all this. Robert Smith of The Cure was able to put rules in place to prevent this. Bands, especially powerful ones, can influence how their tickets get sold. Bands can set the initial price. After that, it's pretty well put out of their hands. Robert Smith was able to afford losing millions up front. I'm doubtful MCR has as much sway with their label and promoters as Robert Smith. My ticket was $150 before fees, which I deem reasonable for the production. Absolutely. The band set that price likely based on a lot of business math. When you talk about powerful artists, we're talking about Taylor Swift. I love MCR to death, but they're not that big. Black Parade is not dead, it's just expensive. If it weren't for greedy resellers, the shows may actually be sold out. Dynamic pricing is its own valid conversation, but the band isn't even profiting off of resellers marking up shows by 100 or 200%. That's a whole different thing, although they both suck. Exactly, all they'd have to do is pull tickets from scalpers, and they aren't. This post feels like the final fuck you from them on the matter. That's up to Ticketmaster and whoever negotiates the contract. I saw the video. I don't care for Swifties, but you'd think they would have gone after Ticketmaster for us at least. Yeah, man, if it wasn't for the reseller and dynamic pricing, I could have flew in from Asia to get two pit shows. This is not the My Chemical Romance I had looked up to in high school. Absolutely zero communication with your fan base while you let Ticketmaster and scalpers make your concerts inaccessible is shameful. Y'all been millionaires too long, you've forgotten why you started this band. This person replied, no. No pre-sale, no email sent out to the email list, no attempt to prevent egregious resale prices. It's a slap in the face for those of us who have been here for 20 years and stood by them loyally through everything. People aren't mad about waiting in a queue. People aren't even mad about the ticket pricing. They are understandably upset that we had 3 days notice, no pre-sale, no measures to protect against bots, and they opted in for dynamic pricing. So those seats that started at $65 were over $400 for standard nosebleed tickets. That's on the band. I think it's on the label. They could have done a pre-sale. They could have done a number of things to protect against bots. They could have opted out of dynamic pricing. That one is completely up to artist discretion. People have valid reasons to be bummed out that the band who always told us to stick your middle finger in the air to the man have become the man. Worst ticket buying experience in 25 plus years of doing this. This person says, I did a lot of panic buying too and got stuck with all dynamic pricing. The lowest in queue I was for any city was 25,000. It was the worst I've ever seen, even worse than buying tickets dropped for the last tour, for Swarm. Sold out is bold wording when half the tickets are sitting on resale right now. Those tickets sold, did they not? They're not in the possession of attendees, so since there's still tickets for sale, the shows aren't sold out if you want to be a smartass about it. PA, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia had nosebleeds for 7,000. Tampa still has some original non-resale tickets, cheaper to fly and get the tickets than pay car prices. But if those resale tickets aren't sold, that's just another empty seat. So are they really sold? You guys should do it like Billie Eilish, where you can only resell tickets for face value. 1 hour after Chicago dropped and nosebleeds were $700. Classic Ticketmaster. Most of your actual fans were priced out, even at face value, let alone the slews of resale tickets now listed for the equivalent to 6 months of rent. Now here's the thing, guys. I could scroll forever. There is a lot of discourse about this, okay? And when it comes to the price of the tickets, like at face value, that just kind of is what it is. And again, I unfortunately, not everybody is going to be able to go logistically. Like, not everybody that wants to go is going to be able to go. There's not enough seats to accommodate for that. And also, there are people who just do not have the funds to go, even at face value. And I know that sucks, but that is the reality, okay? Now, for me personally, I've said it before and I'll say it again, paying that $199 each, that doesn't include the fees. So, after all that, I don't even remember what it was. It was definitely under $300 though. No, it wasn't. Under $500 is what I meant. If it's $199 for one, which is $200, so call that $400 plus fees, it was upwards of $500 for 2 pit tickets for Jersey. In the words of Joel Miller, I'd do it all over again. I think that that was the best money I've spent in my life because of the experience that I had. Now, that is me personally. And I would do it all over again. I would. I recognize that a lot of people can't do that. And what is unfortunate is that there are people who are like, I could only afford the $60-something tickets, and those are nosebleeds. But those tickets don't exist anymore. This is kind of, you know why I think this is so hurtful? It's kind of a parallel. It's very similar to what we're dealing with in this housing crisis that we have here in the U.S. I can't speak to other countries. But in the U.S., we have a housing crisis because our wages either stay completely the same or they just go up a little bit, right? But housing goes like this. And so what used to be affordable, like just a few years ago, there's a house, let's say it was $230,000 for this house. Okay, well now that house is $400,000. So that house that I could afford is no longer available because it doesn't exist anymore. Because the prices have gone crazy. And yet my wages have stayed exactly the same. So I think the reason this is hurting so many people is because there's a big parallel with this ticket thing. And these tickets to this tour. This podcast is called the Keeping Myself Alive podcast. You know why it's called that? Because music, video games, my friends, the things that I love, the things that light me up, my business, making stickers, making art, animals, these are the things that literally keep me alive. Because waking up every day to work for somebody and barely make enough money to survive is not living, that's surviving. We don't live, we just survive on the scraps that you throw away, in the words of Rise Against. When regular people are being priced out of entertainment, the things that they have to look forward to, the things that motivate them to keep working at that job because, all right, well, I can go to this show and it's going to be one of the greatest experiences of my life. When those $60, $70, $80 tickets don't exist after literally 60 seconds because everything was bought up by bots, that sucks. And I understand, like, yeah, there's always going to be people that are like, oh, well, even the face value tickets are too expensive. Expensive it's a relative term, right? And there are going to be people who think that, all concerts should be $30. And listen, that's just not reality. These are big arenas. These are stadiums. Playing at Dodger Stadium, like that is insane, guys. Like, that is huge. And I'm so happy for the band that they get to do that. And I'm so happy to be able to see them, because I know I will, because I know I'll get tickets from SeatGeek when it's close. Being able to see them play in these big stadiums is awesome. Seeing Mikey Way play at Dodger Stadium it just tugs at my heartstrings, right? But when those nosebleed tickets, because nosebleed tickets, it is better to be in the nosebleeds than to not be there at all. Because you're still experiencing the show, you are still meeting other fans. And these are things that, that affordability is now, it's gone. Within 60 seconds, gone in 60 seconds, it's gone. Because bots grabbed up everything and they're not reselling it for $63. They're reselling it for $400, $500 for a nosebleed ticket. Please, guys, I'm begging you, do not support these resellers right now. Please don't support it. I know you have FOMO, and I know you have friends who got them at face value, and you're super happy about that. Or you're super jealous about that. You're happy for them, but you're jealous. And you want to know that you have your tickets. But please, God, do not support these resellers. Wait till it's closer. You don't need to go into debt to see your favorite band. I am disappointed in how this whole thing worked out. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised whatsoever because Ticketmaster sucks. And it has for a long time. And there's no regulations to protect fans. I think a pre-sale would have done a lot. Now, I do acknowledge the people that said, we only had 3 days. I understand that. Unfortunately, I mean, it's pretty typical. And I don't think labels are thinking about, people need to wait till next payday. But that is the reality. But this, I mean, unfortunately, that's pretty standard. And I don't really think that can be avoided. But I do think a fan presale, maybe to everyone who's signed up for your email list, would be nice. I got a fan presale for Alkaline Trio. I think it was through Spotify. I don't even remember if it was through email or what it was. But the fact is there was nothing done. And I think the biggest thing that is upsetting a lot of people is the complete lack of communication. It is unclear if comments were deleted or if it was just glitching out. It's kind of hard to tell because now those comments appear to be back. I don't know if whoever's managing their social media is like limiting comments and then bringing them back, or if it's just truly Instagram being Instagram, which definitely it is a glitchy app. But the fact of the matter is, I think the band owes it to their fans. And people say, they owe us nothing. They owe us nothing. Now, I agree when it comes to music and stuff, they don't owe us shit. They don't have to put out any more music. They don't have to do this tour. They don't have to do any of it. But when you are doing this tour and you have, hundreds, probably thousands of fans who are feeling upset because of this whole situation, I do think that they owe it to the fans to say something. At the very least, I think they owe it to the fans to encourage them to not spend thousands on resale tickets. But I'm using my tiny little platform here to tell you guys not to support resellers and to don't support the platinum seats either. Now, if you've got the money, do whatever you want. But most of us don't. Most of us are just trying to survive and keep a roof over our heads and keep food in our bellies. Please do not take money that you need to spend on bills and and give it off to some reseller or a platinum seat. Because I can promise you that if you wait, you will be able to get tickets and it will not break the bank. The tickets I got for Philly were seats. They were really good seats. And I don't remember offhand how much I paid. I can go back and look. But it was not bad at all. It was very reasonable. And again, I know that what affordable means is going to be different to every person. The issue is not with the face value. Now, some people are going to have issues with it. But the issue from the fandom at large is not the price of the face value tickets. It's the price that the tickets are now, because those affordable tickets don't exist anymore. They were gone in 60 seconds. And that sucks. And I just think that this whole thing is really, really disheartening because we are all so excited. We are so excited for these new videos that they're putting out, all this new lore for this tour that we never thought would happen. And this is spoiling everything. Like, this is really putting a cloud, like a dark cloud over all of this. I want to just be happy and excited, but I think just pretending that everything is okay, just pretending that this is fine, and, if they do another tour in the future, we don't want this to happen again, because this just ruins the whole experience for everybody. Yeah, there's some of you that might be watching this who got in and you were lucky that day. Because I got on the second you possibly could when that queue opened. And there were 29,000 people in front of me. It's literally luck. It's RNG for gamers. You know what that means. It's RNG. It's random. It is just luck of the draw. And I was not one of the lucky ones. But some of you were, and I'm super happy for you. If you were able to get in and get face value, I'm super happy for you. It's fucking awesome. But if you weren't, and by the time you got in and you tried, there were a couple things at face value I was going to get. I was going to get nosebleeds for Philly. Because I had the same thought that I had before with Jersey for Swarm, which was, oh, well, I'll get nosebleeds and then maybe I'll upgrade later. But at the very least, I got nosebleeds and I know I'm going to be there. But I couldn't do that because when I went to do it, it just said, sorry, tickets are no longer available. And then everything else was resellers or platinum. And unfortunately, I don't have the money to spend $800 or even $500 for one ticket. And I'm not going to do that because I know if I wait, it'll be okay. So that's my main message, guys. Please don't support resellers, and your feelings are valid on this. It is okay to feel upset and angry and pissed off. If you feel pissed off, you know what you can do? You can sing about it. And you can also do a post on Instagram, make a video like I am. I know a lot of you are, you don't want to say anything because you feel scared that people are going to judge you and think that you're a fake fan and whatever. And like I said, I had that thought too. I had that thought, like, shit, this might hurt my business. This might hurt my brand. This might hurt me. I might lose followers. I might lose people who are in the fandom or connected to the band in some way, or people, you know, who just love the band. They might lose respect for me. And yeah, that sucks. But I cannot just sit here and not say anything, because this has really been on my mind. It has really been bothering me. And the more posts I see of people saying that they just spent $2,000 on a ticket, and that they're just, well, I'm going to be in debt for a while, but it'll be okay. This is not okay, guys. Like, it's not okay. And I do think that a message from the band would be very much appreciated. I know that the band does not like that this is happening. And I know I am not sitting here and blaming the band for this situation. I am not naive. I am aware that they are under a major label and that they are not managing their tour. Like, I'm very well aware of this. This isn't some underground band. My Chem is huge. And there's a lot of people in power controlling things. But I do think a message from them would be very much appreciated. And I think that fans do deserve some kind of statement. And to anybody who already spent that money, I'm sorry. At this point, the deed is done. And I hope that you'll be able to pay off that debt, or that you won't be in a super tight financial situation for a while. And congratulations that you got tickets. Listen, it sucks that you spent that much money, but at least you're going to be there. And we all know the shows are going to be incredible. We know they're going to be incredible. It's why we care so much. If I didn't care about this band, I wouldn't be fucking yapping for almost an hour and a half about this. I love this band with my whole heart. But this is not right. And I just had to say that. So if you have anything you'd like to add to the discussion, please leave a comment. Please be respectful. If you call me any names, say anything super, any kind of bullying language, anything super nasty or whatever, you're going to be blocked. Just don't do that. Please just be respectful. I think that we should be allowed to have a dialogue about this and talk about it, because it's all coming from a place of love. This is not coming from, a bunch of haters. This is coming from people who love this band and are just very, distraught and disappointed over how this has happened. And we're bummed. We want to just go back to being excited. I want to go back to having the energy I had before these tickets went on sale, where I was trying to piece together what all the drum heads mean and the little, clues in the videos and what does this mean and are these song titles, and I want to go back to that. Okay, but right now I think it is very toxic, kind of toxic positivity. It's giving a little bit of that if we just sit here and just say, oh, everything's fine, it's going to be fine, because it's not. Things suck right now, okay? And I think we need to acknowledge it. And I hope that in the future we can at least take steps to prevent something like this from happening again. If you want to reach out to your local representatives to say how Ticketmaster is a scam, feel free to do so. I'm unfortunately not optimistic enough that that will change anything, because Pearl Jam fought this for years. This has been fought over and over again. And with the incoming administration, I really don't see anything changing. But if you would like to do that, please feel free to do so. If you want to vent to me, if you don't want to say anything publicly because you think people are going to judge you, but you are feeling some type of way and you want to just get it out and you want to talk about it, DM me on Instagram. You can send me voice memos if you want. Just talk about it. You can type an essay. If you want to just get it out there, I won't share it with anybody, I promise. shop.CassieMakesArt on Instagram. I will have that in the description. I'm always here if you want to talk. Again, if you say anything super rude or bullying or use any kind of hate speech, you are gone. But legitimate conversations, I welcome. And to anybody who's feeling super bummed because you don't have tickets yet, just know I am with you. You are not alone. It is okay to feel jealous of your friends who got tickets, and you feel like you deserve them too, because you do. Everybody deserves to see the band. Now, unfortunately, not everybody's going to be able to. But the fact is, way more people were priced out and are unable to go that would have been able to go if it was just not for Ticketmaster and this dynamic pricing and the resellers. And I think I've said all I want to say. If I forgot anything, I'll just add it in Instagram, in stories or something, or in a comment on YouTube. And Spotify too. I think I can leave comments on Spotify. So, again, I welcome your feedback, and I hope that you guys will try to just not be too bummed about it. I already cried over it. You know, it's fine. It's okay to be upset, but just know, I promise you, as your 31-and-a-half-year-old elder emo, I promise you, if you just wait until the dates get closer, you will be able to buy tickets at a very reasonable price. I wish that I had enough money to just buy tickets for all of you guys. But I don't even have enough to buy for myself right now. But just know, I'm doing everything that I can. I couldn't stay silent on this. And I can send you a free sticker. I actually had to cut that off. I did that on Instagram. I had to cut it off because I had so much response, which is incredible. And I'm still waiting on my freaking stamps to come. I got out like 20 of them, and I have a bunch more. And I'm grateful I'm at least able to do that. I do what I can. And I spoke out on this because I felt gross just sitting here not saying anything. Because so many people are spending a lot of money to get tickets. And that money isn't even going to the band. Now, I'm not in the music industry, so I don't quite understand all that stuff about like, well, if they enable dynamic pricing, then the band gets a cut of the blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know any of that stuff. But you shouldn't have to pay a reseller or pay Ticketmaster these insane prices. And the whole situation is just very sad. So I hope that the band will say something, because there's a lot of really negative discourse right now, and I do think some PR needs to be done. Again, I am not attacking the band. Far from it. I love the band. But I do think that we have a right to voice our feelings. And I think the band agrees that this shit is fucked up. Because it is. There's no way that they don't agree with that. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you for watching or listening. And I am a little nervous for your feedback, but I am hoping that it will be productive. Follow me I'll have everything in the description. I don't feel like plugging right now. It's just weird. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Bye.